10 gemstones with otherworldly inclusions. In the world of gemstones, beauty often lies in perfection, flawless clarity, symmetrical cuts, and radiant sparkle. But another kind of beauty exists, one that doesn't conform to neat geometry or polished surfaces. It's raw, mysterious, and untamed. It comes from within. Some look like galaxies, others like forests, frozen lightning, or life. They don't just sparkle, they tell stories. Here are the 10 most extraordinary gemstones with otherworldly inclusions. Don't forget to press and hold that like button, leave a comment, and hit subscribe before we begin. Ranked 10th, Flame Agate, crystallized fire in motion. Flame agate stands alone, not because it sparkles, but because it burns. This rare agate earns its name from the swirling ribbons of deep red, glowing orange, and smoky black that appear to dance just beneath its surface. It looks less like a mineral and more like a wildfire frozen mid-roar. These mesmerizing patterns aren't artificial. They result from iron oxide inclusions, naturally shaped by volcanic heat and pressure in the agate-rich regions of Chihuahua, Mexico. Over millions of years, silica-rich lava cooled and solidified around these fiery inclusions, forming patterns that move, flicker, and breathe. Some pieces resemble lava flows. Others look like embers about to ignite. But every specimen is unique, sculpted by geological chance. Flame agate doesn't just capture the look of fire, it captures its energy. While other gems in this list may mimic stars, moss, or ancient water, this one doesn't point to another world. It invokes another element. It doesn't imitate nature, it channels it. In a collection of gemstones with surreal inclusions, flame agate holds a special place. Because when you look into it, you're not just seeing stone, you're seeing Earth's fire paused in time. Ranked 9th, moss agate, a forest trapped in stone. Moss agate doesn't dazzle with fire or brilliance. It captivates with mystery. Encased within its semi-translucent surface are delicate branching formations in shades of green, brown, or black that resemble moss, trees, or seaweed drifting in still water. These ethereal shapes aren't plant life, but rather dendritic inclusions, naturally formed patterns of manganese and iron oxide shaped over time by mineral-rich fluids filtering through cracks in the stone. What makes moss agate truly otherworldly is how it creates the illusion of a living world inside solid quartz. Each stone is like a miniature landscape, a foggy forest, a coral reef, or an alien garden suspended in glass. Every specimen is unique, with no two patterns alike, making it as much a work of natural art as it is a gemstone. Sourced in regions like Montana, Oregon, and Wyoming, as well as parts of India and Indonesia, moss agate has long been cherished by artists, collectors, and spiritualists alike. It's especially loved in jewelry for its serene, earthy aesthetic, and because it feels alive, as if it's quietly growing inside the stone. Moss agate is a gentle rebellion that celebrates imperfection, asymmetry, and wild beauty. It doesn't scream for attention. It whispers, inviting you to look closer and discover an entire world hidden just beneath the surface. Surreal. Ranked 8th, Tourmalinated Quartz, where order meets chaos. Few gemstones illustrate contrast quite like tourmalinated quartz. Inside its clear or smoky body, sharp black needles of schorl tourmaline cut through the quartz-like ink strokes in crystal. Bold, jagged, and unpredictable. At first glance, it may look like shattered glass or lightning frozen in midair. But these dark inclusions aren't fractures or flaws. They're natural, needle-like formations that grew as quartz and tourmaline minerals crystallized together in a delicate, high-pressure dance beneath the Earth's crust. What makes this gemstone truly otherworldly is the tension it holds within. Quartz represents clarity and light, while tourmaline brings darkness, density, and movement. Together, they create a visual paradox: stillness, energy, symmetry, and chaos trapped in one transparent form. Some specimens feature only a few wispy threads, like distant storm lines. Others are thick with chaotic black streaks, like an abstract painting in motion. Unlike other inclusions that follow patterns, The tourmaline in these gems is naturally unruly, forming in spontaneous directions that no cutter can predict or replicate. This makes every piece one of a kind, a snapshot of two opposing forces learning to coexist. Tourmalinated quartz doesn't conform to classic beauty, it challenges it. In a world that praises flawlessness, this gem reminds us that tension, contrast, and imperfection can be just as breathtaking, and sometimes far more real. Ranked 7th, Chrysoberyl cat's eye, the stone that watches back. Not all gems shimmer, some stare, and none more eerily than Chrysoberyl cat's eye. A stone with an optical phenomenon so precise, it seems to possess its gaze. Known for its chatoyancy, this gemstone features ultrafine, parallel inclusions of rutile or similar needle-like minerals, which reflect light in such a focused band that it forms a crisp, moving line, the unmistakable slit pupil of a feline eye. But this isn't just a light trick. It's a visual illusion brought to life. Tilt the gem and the eye follows you. Could you turn off the light and it vanishes? Shine a flashlight across its surface and it reawakens with an intense stare. The effect is so vivid that it's earned the name cat's eye, legally reserved only for this specific type of chrysoberyl. Sourced from Sri Lanka, Brazil, and India, Chrysoberyl cat's eye is prized for more than its haunting gaze. The finest specimens display a dramatic milk and honey effect, one side glowing bright, the other shadowed in depth, a natural contrast formed under extreme pressure and sealed forever in a gemstone with a hardness of 8.5 on the Mohs scale, just below sapphire. What sets it apart among otherworldly inclusions is not just its uniqueness, it's its presence. Chrysoberyl cat's eye doesn't reflect a faraway realm. It anchors itself here and watches you back. Ranked 6th, Rutilated Quartz. Lightning trapped in crystal. Rutilated quartz looks like what might happen if a lightning storm is trapped inside a glacier. Inside its clear or smoky depths, you'll find streaks, threads, or chaotic tangles of rutile, a mineral composed of titanium dioxide that shimmer in gold, silver, copper, or deep red tones. These inclusions aren't flaws. They result from two minerals crystallizing under intense heat and pressure, forming structures that look like electric currents frozen mid-surge. Its duality makes rutilated quartz mesmerizing and truly otherworldly. It balances perfect clarity with wild internal motion. Some stones appear soft and silky, laced with fine angel hair filaments. Others explode with visual energy, like static caught in glass. You're not just holding a crystal, you're experiencing the visual tension between stillness and motion, light and shadow, order and entropy. In regions like Brazil, Madagascar, and the Swiss Alps, high-grade rutilated quartz is often shaped en cabochon to showcase its dramatic inclusions. However, modern designers also facet these gems to amplify their complexity, turning them into wearable lightning bolts. In a collection of gemstones that dazzle with color or history, rutilated quartz stands apart as a storm in stone. It doesn't just reflect light, it captures the memory of something powerful, fleeting, and untamed. If lightning ever fossilized, this is precisely what it would look like. Ranked 5th, Enhydro Quartz, the stone that holds ancient life. Enhydro Quartz is a time capsule. Trapped within its clear, solid quartz structure are tiny pockets of actual water, sealed in place for millions of years. These aren't decorative features or fractures. They're real liquid inclusions, often with visible air bubbles that move when you tilt the stone. What you're holding isn't just a mineral, it's the breath of ancient earth, suspended in silence. Formed during volcanic activity, Enhydro Quartz develops as quartz crystals grow around water-filled cavities in rock. Over time, those pockets become sealed under immense pressure, encased in pure silica. The water inside may be thousands, or even hundreds of millions, of years old, untouched by light or air since before humans first walked the planet. That alone makes it one of the most extraordinary inclusions in the gem world. Most Enhydro Quartz specimens come from Namibia, Brazil, and China, often ranging between 1 and 3 inches in size. Though quartz is a 7 on the Mohs hardness scale and typically cut for jewelry, enhydros are kept raw and uncut, preserving the visibility of their ancient inclusions. While most gems dazzle with color or fire, Enhydro Quartz mesmerizes with stillness and movement. It holds contrast within itself, a solid rock containing a living liquid, frozen time holding something that still moves. Enhydro Quartz is one of the rare few that feels alive. You don't just admire it, you witness it. And if you listen closely, it might whisper something from the deep past. Ranked 4th, Star Sapphire, Star Ruby, the gem that carries a star. Star sapphires and star rubies are not ordinary gemstones. They are living light shows, hiding a celestial secret beneath the surface. When cut en cabochon and viewed under a single light source, a perfectly sharp 6-rayed star glides across the gem's face, following your every move. This phenomenon, known as asterism, is caused by microscopic inclusions of rutile needles aligning in intersecting crystal patterns. These fine inclusions scatter and reflect light in a focused, radiant starburst, not a flaw but a feature born deep within the earth. What makes these gems truly otherworldly is that they contain structure and motion at once. The body of the gem, whether a midnight blue sapphire or a rich crimson ruby, becomes a cosmic backdrop, while the star becomes a celestial traveler, shifting with the tilt of your hand. The finest specimens feature stars that are bright, centered, and symmetrical. Rarer still are those with 12 rays, doubling the magic. Sourced from Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Thailand, and East Africa, these gems rank 9 on the Mohs scale, making them durable enough for everyday wear, though their effect is anything but daily. Star sapphires and rubies don't just sparkle, they perform. In a world filled with cut and polished brilliance, these stones offer a rarer glimpse of the stars, crystallized in stone. You don't just wear one, you orbit it. Ranked 3rd, Trapiche Emerald, the sacred geometry of nature. Among the rarest and most visually striking gemstones on Earth, Trapiche Emerald stands in its own category. Inside its deep green body lies a naturally formed 6-rayed star, a perfectly symmetrical pattern that looks more like sacred geometry than mineral growth. These radial spokes stretch from the center outward like the hub of a wheel or a cosmic mandala, dividing the crystal into pie-like segments. But what you're seeing isn't artistry, it's geology. This phenomenon occurs when carbon and other dark inclusions align along the hexagonal crystal axis of the emerald as it forms under intense pressure. The result is a pattern so precise, so mathematically elegant, it feels intentional, even intelligent. The name trapiche comes from the Spanish word for a sugar mill, whose grinding wheel this gem famously resembles. Found almost exclusively in Colombia, particularly in the legendary Muzo and Chivor mines, trapiche emeralds are exceptionally rare. Most gemologists go their entire careers without seeing one in person. They are typically cut en cabochon to preserve the whole geometry, letting the star structure take center stage. What makes Trapiche Emerald truly otherworldly isn't just its rarity, it's the way it bridges chaos and order. Among all gemstones with surreal inclusions, this one doesn't just contain beauty, it contains a message, drawn in perfect symmetry by the hand of the earth itself. Ranked 2nd, Amber with insects. Time travel in the palm of your hand. Amber with insects is unlike any other gemstone in the world, not because of how it shines, but because of what it preserves. Inside these golden, fossilized droplets of ancient tree resin are creatures from millions of years ago. Flies, ants, beetles, even spiders, frozen mid-step, mid-flight, mid-breath. These aren't artistic recreations or imprints. They're real organisms, perfectly preserved, many of them extinct, trapped inside resin that slowly hardened into stone over millennia. Found in places like the Baltic region, the Dominican Republic, and Myanmar, some pieces of amber date back over 100 million years older than the Himalayas, and the clarity, remarkable. In some Dominican amber, you can see every leg, wing vein, and tiny antenna, as if captured just moments ago. What makes amber with insect inclusions truly otherworldly is that it doesn't just hold visual beauty, it holds biological memory. These specimens have helped paleontologists reconstruct ancient ecosystems, trace evolutionary paths, and even study prehistoric DNA. Yet beyond science, they evoke something deeply emotional, a sense of suspended time, of life paused in amber glow. Amber with insects captivates in silence. It's not about reflection, it's about preservation. Each piece is a window into a vanished world, a tiny tomb of time where evolution stood still. You're not just looking at a gemstone, you're peering into a fragment of deep time, perfectly sealed, impossibly intact. In the first place, Lodolite, a universe grown in stone. Lodolite, often called garden quartz, is the gemstone that makes you pause, not because of sparkle or brilliance, but because it looks like it shouldn't exist. On the outside, it's clear quartz, but inside it holds entire landscapes, mossy forests, coral-like formations, and swirling clouds of green, red, and gold that resemble misty gardens or alien terrain. These dreamlike scenes are made from natural mineral inclusions like chlorite, feldspar, and hematite, shaped slowly, layer by layer, over millions of years. Each piece is unique, like a miniature world sealed in stone. Some feel like they're still growing, others look like a memory captured in glass. And that's why Lodolite ranks first. It doesn't just contain inclusions, it contains imagination. Unlike any other gem, it invites exploration. It's not just beautiful, it's meditative, mysterious, and alive with story. While other gemstones in this list trap light, fire, or even insects, Lodolite creates entire ecosystems, perfectly preserved in quartz. Found primarily in Brazil and the Himalayan region, it may be modest in hardness, 7 on the Mohs scale, but in terms of visual impact and wonder, it's unmatched. Garden quartz doesn't sparkle like a diamond or glow like a star sapphire. It draws you in. You don't just admire it from the outside, you step inside. In a world obsessed with perfection, these 10 gemstones prove that the most breathtaking beauty often comes from within. Their inclusions aren't flaws, they're features. They're not imperfections, but portals to other times, forces, and worlds. They remind us that nature isn't just a designer, it's an artist, one that works with time, pressure, minerals, and imagination. Let us know which resonates with you in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this.